Today we're making an incredible dish of Spanish asparagus with poached eggs. This one you don't want to miss. Bienvenidos, welcome to Spain on Fork. Today we're making a delicious recipe of Spanish asparagus with poached eggs served on toast. This is one heck of an amazing dish, plus it's very versatile too. You can serve this for breakfast, for lunch, or dinner, plus it's very easy to make, uses simple ingredients, and it's done in under 30 minutes. Now to give this dish maximum flavor, make sure you use fresh asparagus, don't use the frozen kind. For the second thing, don't just use regular eggs, use organic free-range eggs. Believe me, it makes all the difference in the world. And last but not least, make sure you use a good quality Spanish paprika, as this is what gives this dish that beautiful Spanish flavor. As always, I'm using Kiva sweet smoked Spanish paprika. This is one heck of an amazing Spanish paprika. Perfect balance of sweetness and smokiness, and it gives this dish that authentic Spanish flavor. Link below where you guys can get this. Alright folks, let's get started. We're going to begin by washing a bundle of fresh asparagus under some cold running water. Then pat them down with a dishcloth. Very important to completely dry the asparagus. Then I'm going to pack the asparagus with the top part in the bottom. That way when we cut them, they're all evenly sized. And cut off between 2 to 3 inches from the end. Then add the asparagus into a baking tray lined with foil paper. And make sure that they're all in a single layer. Then I'm going to brush them with some extra virgin olive oil and season them with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. Then add the asparagus into a preheated oven, bake and broil option, 250 degrees Celsius, 475 degrees Fahrenheit. While our asparagus are in the oven, let's grab a saucepan, fill it a little over halfway with cold water, add half a tablespoon of white wine vinegar. This is going to help the egg whites stay together. Season with sea salt, and heat it with a high heat. Once the water comes to a boil, I'm going to lower the fire to a low-medium heat. Very important when you're poaching eggs not to have boiling water, otherwise your eggs are going to break apart. You just want that water to be simmering. 15 minutes after adding the asparagus into the oven, I'm going to take them out of the oven and set them aside. Meanwhile, I've got this crusty loaf of bread here. I'm going to cut this into diagonal slices. They're about ½ an inch thick. Before we start poaching our eggs, you want to crack each egg into an individual bowl. This is going to make it so much easier to add into the saucepan. Alright, let's start poaching our eggs. As you can see, the water is simmering. It is not boiling. That is very important. Using a whisk, I'm going to start mixing this together, kind of creating a whirlpool. And then add the egg into the pan. Now to perfectly poach eggs, in my opinion, it's between 3 to 3.5 minutes. But of course, everybody likes their eggs differently. This will guarantee that the egg whites are done and that egg yolk is nice and creamy. 3.5 minutes after adding the egg, I'm going to remove it with a slotted spoon, making sure to shake off any of that excess water. And transfer it into a plate. And continue to individually poach your eggs until they are all done. I'm using 4 for this recipe. Now a lot of people like to add their poached eggs into a plate with paper towels so it can soak up all that extra water. In my opinion, I don't like to do that because the eggs stick to the paper towels and it becomes a huge mess. What you can do is what I did, just add the eggs into a plate and just tilt it to remove any of that extra liquid. Okay guys, let's start assembling our dish. I'm going to add between 3 to 4 asparagus into each piece of bread. Add 1 poached egg on top of the asparagus. Then season the eggs with sea salt, freshly cracked black pepper, and a sprinkle of sweet smoked Spanish paprika. Okay guys, our dish is done. How beautiful does this look? I'm gonna cut one of those egg yolks open, that way you can see that beautiful creamy texture, and then give it a try. Now this looks delicious. Here we go. So many simple flavors here, but they are so good. Everything works so well together. Those eggs are perfectly poached between 3 to 3.5 minutes on simmering water. Make sure your water is not fully boiling, otherwise it's gonna break the egg apart. The asparagus, 15 minutes, and they have a beautiful texture to them. As for the flavors, very simple: sea salt, black pepper, but that sweet smoked Spanish paprika just elevates everything together. Incredible dish, very easy to make. Before I go, I'd like to give out a quick shout out to one of my patrons, Joan at the Bond UK. Thank you so much for all your support. I truly appreciate you. If you guys would like to support Spain on Fork, you'll find my Patreon link in the description box below. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.